Welcome, welcome. Come on in, come on in. Bring it in, bring it in, bring it in. Hugs, hugs, hugs. Hello, my beautiful, powerful patients. How are you doing? How y'all feeling today or tonight? This is Tezra. I am your mental chiropractor. I'm here to help you to realign your mind, take back your power, plop yourself back down into the driver's seat of your life so you can drive your life in the direction that you want it to go instead of the direction that society will have you to go. Because trust and believe me, that is probably the wrong direction. So y'all come on in. This is the Danza Apology Part 2. And before we get into it, I just want to say a big thanks. Y'all, the video that I did, the Lennon Honor video where he almost made me drive off the bridge, y'all, it got such a great response that I was like, oh my Lord, thank you. I am so very grateful. So thank you for Cookie Crush Chats. Thank y'all for coming through. And inadvertently thank Lennon Honor because he probably will not see this. But I just want y'all to know how appreciative I am, and that one flicker of the finger that means the whole world to my channel. Y'all, 150 subs. Like what in the what? What in the what? I am so very grateful. But we got a good video today, and this is my continued apology. Can somebody get Danza to come holla at your girl? Cause somebody get Danza to come holla at your girl. Cause I really want to know what this video was about from the horse's mouth. I think I'm on the right track, but I really do want to hear from him. So anyway, and before we get into it, if y'all will go ahead and please be so kind as to one flicker of your finger means the world to my channel. Go ahead and subscribe. And if you like this content, then go ahead and like this video. Thank you so much. So let's go ahead and get started. I had some beautiful comments in the video that I put up for the Lennon Honor video. And you know what I really want to do? I really want to just do a video, just reading out the comments and give a shout out to people and just kind of like responding to some of them. I received some very... Y'all are so freaking awesome. There is some, y'all have encouraged me. You're like, Tezra, keep going, day by day. So, and then some of the Umar Tars, shout out to the Lady Luck Club. I think that's coined her term for them. I call them the Umarians. But like the Lady Luck Club, the Umar Tars, they even came through. I'm like, low key, is that you for real? Umar, because you start off the same sentence with everything. Here's another struggle streamer. Umar, stop it. Just stop it. You act like you ain't on YouTube, but you on here. Okay, y'all, without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into the part 2 apology. There is going to be a part 3. I want y'all to go back and check out part 1, but my volume on part 1 was wonky, so I apologize for that. But there is going to be a part 3 because this is a 3-hour interview that I did not realize it was that long. But anyway, so sit back, relax, grab yourself something to sip on, and let's get into it. So let's just look at Danza's, and I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with Danza's channel. I'm not that familiar with it. I just saw that little Scott tissue paper thin interview, and I was like, what is this? And then I saw... Y'all know I showed you. Y'all seen it, so I ain't got to say. Then I was like, oh, okay. So anyway, so let's just look at, let's check out Danza's channel. I hope y'all got y'all bubbly. I got Lamarca. That's my favorite bubbly. Okay, let's go.
This is the Danza Project.
Money. Welcome to the project. If it's TDP, you can bet it's must-see TV. Real talk, having real talks with the TBE. The best ever, letting me be me.
See? Right there. And is that Floyd Mayweather? Y'all, wait a second. Wait, okay. This got to be AI. Did he get in the ring? Well, I need somebody, listen, I need somebody who's down with Danza to let me know, was that Floyd Mayweather that he got into the ring with? Like, was this real? And then also, y'all, can y'all get Danza to come holler at your girl? Because I just want to have a conversation with him. I just want him to verify my conjecture that he really does not fuck with Umar. He really does not like Umar. But I really want to know the reason why he conducted that interview with him. Y'all think he'll tell me? Y'all think he'll say he'll come clean? No, y'all don't think so. Listen, Danza needs to come have a talk with me. I know I'm incy wincy, but he could come down. He could talk with me. you know, I know you all big and bad dancer, but come talk to a little bitty one. I'm sure my audience would appreciate that.
We be always busy and they hate that. They gotta see Miggy in his Maybach. Hater couldn't hear me till they listen to a playback. What I owe you, cause like really this the payback. No Diddy, take that. See in profit, we can pop it till it's over. See the vision can't be cropped unless I'm chopping it through Nova. Kato jumping in and out of pocket like a soldier. Cause like really to touch every single topic is a project. Let me show you. Up to something like my hand on a cannon. Push a button like I'm Lando or Landon. Climbing up the charts, how you smart but you can't understand it. You will never see us famished, so vanish, for real. Welcome to the project.
Ladies and gentlemen,
That's pretty dope. That's pretty dope. I'm just going to give a round of applause. When I, get on my bells and whistles, I'll do more. But for now, you get an applause. That was dope. Okay. So the name of this. Okay. Let me scroll up a little bit. The name of this interview is Unity or Nothing. Dr. Umar unpacks HBCU gentrification, reparations, and cultural wars. I have to build up my tolerance for the ignorance, y'all. So forgive me. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, let's just get a little bit of a refresher of the beginning of the video. Stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. Don't leave me. Don't leave me. Stay with me. Okay, hold on.
this is a really special episode of the Danza Project, something that we've been trying to get going for some time. And like I have been more recently, I've been starting off.
Okay, so we saw that, right? Let's just fast forward. Okay, here. Let's go here.
Coming back up there one more time to tell people we almost done. You feel me? Yeah. When we done, I'll schedule with you. I'm not going up to Power 105 again until we done. I'm tired of saying it myself.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? So when we done, that's when I'll do it, man. But we real close.
Let me let it play. I'm sorry.
When I fly back home tomorrow, I got to get to the school. They're laying the floors now, and
They laying the floors where? Linen Honor, I need your help because I thought these floors were laid. I'm pretty sure we all thought the floors were laid. And maybe they're talking about floors outside of the gym because we know that the floors in the gym were done. So are you talking about the other floors? And listen, y'all, I'm not here to bash Umar. Even though Umar be sliding up in comments acting like he is the Umarians, or as Lady Luck Club calls him Umartar. Umartards. But that's not my jam. That's not my jam. I'm not here to bash. I'm not here to judge. Like, I really am not. Like, you do what you do, but if we can help to wake people up so that they're not duped by you doing what you do, then we are doing a service to people. We're just peeling back the layers on the bullshit. I'm not saying that you're right or you're wrong. What I'm saying is I'm giving voice to what I think is the bullshit of it all. Right? So I'm not here to bash. Like, I really am not here to bash. And it's really, honestly, the whole purpose of my channel is unity. The whole purpose of my channel is unity. But before we get to radical unity, we have to first reprogram our conditioned minds. And Dr. Umar, his mind is very, very conditioned. Like I always say, he is the colonials, or he is the faceless ones behind the paywall, or the invisibles. He's one of their pride and joys. He's one of their proud possessions. He's one of their biggest trophies because his mind is still trapped in colonialism. No matter how much he thinks that he is intellectualizing and a scholar on Black culture or Pan-Africanism or whatever the case is, he's still very polarizing. And so as long as you're polarizing, you are working under the conditioned mind of the colonials or of the cabals, whoever it is that you want to call them. That is a program that you're working under. So don't think that you are being a free thinker. Don't think that you are being an empowered, liberated human being, because you're not. You're still under the programming. And this is the part that I want y'all to understand. For anybody who subscribes to the labels that they slap on the box, I want you to understand that whenever there's a label, there is a box that is associated with that label. The box is a confinement. The label is the identity and the box is the confinement. So they want to confine you to this identity that they are giving you. Y'all get that? That was good. Did y'all get that? I hope y'all got that. They want to confine you to the label, to the identity that they are giving you. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about black. If you subscribe to black, you're subscribing to being confined. White, same thing. If you subscribe to white, you're subscribing to being confined. Confined to what? Confined to the system. The system of divide and conquer. The system of victimhood villain. That's what this all is. It's a system that supports their power structure to make sure that it stays intact. So when you subscribe to black, to white, to yellow, to brown, whatever the case, polka dot plaid, whatever you identify with, not polka dot plaid, because somebody out there may, and it's soon come. It probably is soon coming. But you know what I mean. Black, brown, white, yellow. If you subscribe to any of those, you are subscribing to the confinement, to the limitations. So I want y'all to know that I obliterated the fucking box about 10 years ago. Now when I do, and I'm gonna get off my soapbox. I promise you. Just give me 1 second. Now when I do paperwork and it says, what race are you? I will put other and then I'll put human. Because that's the only race that exists. All of these other things, those are man-made. Those are social constructs that have been built, created for us to live by, not to serve ourselves, to serve ourselves in a very limited way, perhaps, but to serve the power structure and to make sure that it stays in place. Okay? So that's what this channel is about. I'm not about bashing anybody, but I'm about analyzing, dissecting, and identifying what a limited mind and how it thinks, so that we ourselves, and speaking of you too, my audience, my beautiful, powerful patients, so you can also identify, wait a minute, is this programming, is this default programming going on right now? And we'll get more into it, but this is just the crux of it, okay? This is just like the first thin layer of it. Okay, let's keep going. I said all that in the little box. Damn it. I need an assistant.
Once that's done, we'd be applying for our certificate of occupancy. That's going to be interesting because the city has not been our
Listen
friend.
to this.
They tried to sell the school behind our back last month for some frivolous expenses that we should not have even owed. So
how did you think that you should not have even owed them? Did you just think because I have a 501c3 that alone makes me, exempts me from owing it? You don't think that you had to go through some sort of paperwork or some sort of processes, some sort of steps or protocol for them to say that you do not, because of your status, you do not owe these expenses? How did you think that this was going to happen, Umar? Were you too busy eating a box of Lucky Charms? And you thought that the little leprechaun came down to poof all your expenses away? Like, come on. Where's the accountability? Where's the responsibility, Umar? Nobody tried to sell the school behind your back. You were not judicious. You didn't do your due diligence on keeping up with the paperwork and having an address for them to deliver to you the notices that they were trying to inform you of. Isn't that what really happened? Come on, let's just be honest, okay? Let's just really be honest, people. This is an era where it requires and it demands truth, honesty, and transparency. And for anybody who is not doing that, well, this is the wrong era for that. You about to get blown up. Yeah, everything is about to be exposed.
let's stay positive, but I'm not looking forward to the inspection because, they can nitpick you to death on that.
Absolutely.
So when people say when you're going to actually be done, that's not in our hands. We have to see what the city says, but I'm hoping after all we've been through, they just say, go ahead. If it's all in order, just pass him. You
Okay. 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 Where is it? Just pass him. You are literally just looking for a pass. See, this is the problem with the Black community. And the reason why I say Black community is because that's that limited mind thinking that we should just get a pass, that we should be exempt for having to go through all of the steps and the processes that are in place for whatever reason, but they're in place. That just give them a pass. Why? Let me tell you something. I work in the industry and I'm going to do a video on this. My daytime job is a restaurant operations consultant. This is what I do. Based in New York, and I go and I help people who are opening a restaurant with little or no experience, and I help them to open their restaurant with the same standards as a corporate restaurant while keeping their independently owned, like mom and pop culture. I marry the two worlds together, okay? And I mostly work with melanated people. And I remember one restaurant where I was actually a manager at this. No, it was one of my clients' restaurant. And they had a horrible experience. And I went to them and I went to apologize. And do you know what this person said to me? This person was like, you know what? It's all good. Like, it's a Black-owned business. So we're going to let y'all. I was like, that's exactly what I do not want to hear. Do you know how much that stabbed me in my gut and heart at the same time? So, Umar, when you say, oh, I hope they just give us a pass, why? Because you want to not hold the standard? Because you want them to accept you being beneath the standard of what is required in order for you to open an institution, that you just want them to give you a pass? I pause.
know, but that hasn't been the experience. Like everything we've been through with the city has been a fight. You know, even to get a permit for the festival, they ain't want to give us that. You know, so it's really been a tug of war with them. I'm just hoping that we don't have to have a protest. I'm hoping we don't have to take them to court for discrimination. I mean, the bureaucracy is mostly black. The mayor's white, but the bureaucracy is black. But discrimination is discrimination, even if.
Okay. Discrimination is discrimination. Okay. So that's the only reason why this could not possibly go through is because of discrimination. And the only reason why it could possibly go through, it would just be because of discrimination, is because of the melanin level in your skin. Now, if it was somebody else who was taking the same steps as you or not taking the same steps as you, it would be because they didn't go through the due process. But because of the melanin level in your skin, it is because of discrimination. Okay. Now, let's talk about the fact that you said it's always been a fight. Now, here's where I want, and I think I'm gonna go a little bit further, but then I'm gonna cut it here. Okay, it's gonna be a part 3. Sorry, it's going to be a part 3 because I have a lot to say, as you can see. Because my perspective is going to be very different than what is out there when we're talking about characters and contests like this. Right? Content like this. So when you're talking about a fight, it's going to be a fight. The reason why it has been a fight is because of your energetic vibration. Because you're already carrying the energetic frequency of a black man trying to open a school for quote black end quote boys, and so therefore inherently it's a fight. And then you're wondering why it's so difficult for you to get through the processes and the steps that you need to get through, besides the fact that you are not being due diligent or judicious to the process period on your own. So the reason why a fight is a frequency. So if you were to shift your frequency, then you wouldn't have as big of a fight. If you would shift your frequency by not being so polarizing, by not being so trapped in your mind about, black, white, and duh, If you will open up your mind, expand your mind, expand that consciousness that you speak of. By the way, consciousness does not have a color. My brothers and sisters, I couldn't help it. I tried to fight it, but I couldn't. Consciousness does not have a color. So this thing called black consciousness, that's a fluke. It is an error inherently, because there's nothing that's called black consciousness. Okay, so when we talk about everything is a fight, everything is a struggle, that's a frequency. That's the energetic vibration that you're operating on. Shift your frequency. You shift your frequency, you will shift your experience. Okay.
Be the same color, so I'm just, I'm gonna just put it in the Lord's hands and see, but we knock it on the finish line. So if all
Lord, he's a Christian. Okay, I ain't gonna be petty. Savior, I ain't gonna be petty. But do y'all see his energy? Do you see this energy? This energy is of just let me grab my 10K bag and let me get on up out of here. That's what this energy is. He does not want to be there. Do you see this energy? Or other than that, maybe he just got some news. Maybe he got some news that there's a 3-letter agency that's all of a sudden taking interest in him and came knocking on the door. Perhaps that's it. But I'm not going to make assumptions. I'm just saying, do you notice the energy? There's a shift in his energy.
all goes well, we should be able to apply for the inspection before the end of the year.
And this is something that most people don't understand in general. Just starting a business is tough, right? And then when you're doing something in the community, it's going to be a lot tougher. When you're dealing with that much square footage, they could find something wrong anywhere. Oh, well, in this corner here. But a lot of people that have never started a business, have never gotten any type of education on what it's like. They have
never
no idea.
opened a school, never ran a school, but they're experts in our school. And I don't get into it, but I hear a lot of it because my supporters send me the clips.
Okay, he's lying. He does get into it because he told his supporters, like, if you send me one more clip, y'all are not my supporters. Like, he will cut you off. So you do get into it. Your feelings do get into it, and it's okay. It's okay. Listen, this is supposed to be your baby, your project, right? So, okay, if you catch feelings, you catch feelings, but don't go claiming right here on this platform as if you're insouciant, because you're not. You're very much emotionally invested. That's why you told your supporters that if y'all send me one more goddamn video, I'm cutting y'all off. Y'all are not my supporters.
And I've heard ridiculous things. I heard people say you can get an HVAC for $5,000. That's a $50,000
so I'm sure y'all heard
unit
this,
up there.
right? I'm sure y'all heard this part of the video. I know I did. So I just want to, let me fast forward a bit. Sorry. Just let me fast forward a little bit. Get to the challenges of hiring locally. We all heard this, right? Let's just hear a little bit.
I know what I'm teaching for. I said, you can't get that.
Do they think you're pushing religion? Is it?
Hold on.
really
I
do.
like Cato. I like him because he asks questions, like for real. He asks the critical questions, and like he don't go deep, but he asks the critical questions that are right beneath the surface. But at least he does get a little bit deeper. So let's see what this is about.
And so how do you keep it together? Back to that mental health thing. Like, how do you feel?
I'm going to be honest with you. The haters, the struggle streamers, they really...
Y'all, hold on. Y'all, I was called a struggle streamer. I'm like, yes, I've arrived. Y'all, I told them people, thank you, because my little itsy wincy channel of, and I'm not calling my subscribers itsy wincy at all, because every one of y'all are powerhouses. But for them to call me a struggle streamer, listen, I ain't even started streaming yet. Let me start streaming first. Like, I'm still a neonatal in this world, in the YouTube world. But y'all, I was called a struggle streamer. Yes. I mean, can YouTube give us a plaque for that? For struggle streamers? Okay.
It helped toughen me up to the criticism because we've been dealing with it from the first day we took a donation in St. Louis, Missouri, April of 2014, when the St. Paul's College in Virginia went up for sale, because that's what we wanted. We wanted that HBCU, but they wanted $2 million and we couldn't raise it in time.
Okay, I'm going to fast forward. I'm going to save us. I think Lynn and Honor will have a different timeline.
Only because you got so many plumbers, you got so many HVAC, you got so many electric. You could go through 30 of them until you hit the right one. But you in the second smallest state, only a handful of black folks, you know what I mean? Yeah. Contractors that you can really, go to. And everybody we used came highly recommended, by the way. We didn't just grab people. These were people say, get him, get them. We got the people we were told to get. And they still didn't do it.
But when the pool is so small, and the competition isn't great, it's tough,
And we ran into situations where sometimes, if I don't take the plumber, the electrician say I can't take the job.
Lies loading. I saw that on some woman's podcast. Lies loading. Lies. Y'all don't get me start laughing, because y'all know what happens if I start laughing. So y'all stop. Don't get me started, okay? She was like, lies loading. Okay. Keep it together. Okay, first of all, lies loading, because unless they are in contract together, there is no plumber who's going to say, if you're not using my electrician guy, then I'm not taking this, six-figure job. Wait, six-figure? Wait, no, like $5,000. Five-figure job. I'm not taking nobody, especially nowadays, nobody is turning down a check. So that's lies loading right there. And then the second thing is that this is what you get for being so freaking polarizing, Umar. No? Because when you're so freaking polarizing and you're trying to work in an echo chamber, you're trying to work in an ecosystem just of one group of people, again, you're working on a very limited energetic frequency. So therefore, when you're working on that energetic frequency, I want to say vibration, but frequency of limitation, then yes, you are going to bring you experiences that are going to make your limitations true. I want y'all to understand this. The universe does not know the word no, and the universe will never make you a liar. This is a part of realigning our minds to our sovereignty, to our sovereign selves, to our higher source. Because we are communicating with the universe every single second that we breathe. How? By our energetic vibration, our energetic frequency. And it begins to just run in the back of our minds. This is why we have to realize how we are programmed, because it begins to run in the back of our minds. Okay, I got to take a pause because I need to go feed my puppy. So this is going to end part 2 in a second. I just want to get a little further in this interview, because Danza is completely placating Umar. He's completely he really wishes that him and Umar were in a ring together. That's what he's really wishing in the back of his mind. He's just like, oh, if I could just get this motherfucker in a ring and put our boxing gloves on, just let me wail at him. Just let me go at him. That's what he's probably really thinking. But anyway, let me get a little bit more into this video, and then we're going to pause this and we're going to come back to it for part 3.
Feel me? Because that's my... Nobody was able to say we could pick up where they started. You know what I mean? The plumbers, they didn't do this right.
Okay, we know this, y'all. We know this. Okay, hold on.
Now, you've been one of the more consistent voices in our communities for over a decade.
Yes, sir.
What keeps you motivated?
Sorry, let me go back a little bit.
Because you give up your sovereignty.
So how do you keep it together?
Wait, hold on. He said give up your sovereignty. Why would you give up your sovereignty? Wait, hold on, y'all. What are you talking about sovereignty?
The job. You know what I mean? So that's where we at. And then you have people say, well, if he's on his Pan-Africanism and his Garveyism platform, why would he let white people do the work? You have to distinguish and differentiate between charity and business. We don't accept donations from non-Africans, right? But if I have to pay a non-African to do a job, that's business. That's not a handout. They're not volunteering. They're not giving us nothing. We're paying them to do a job. You see, it's like if I have a store and a white person comes in and buys from my store, that's no contradiction. That's business. But if I got white folks coming in there financing me, that's a contradiction. You see, so people say, well, that's a contradiction. You got white folks doing the work. That's called business, bro. That's just business. Fee for service. It's not a handout. Now, if they was financing us, that would be a contradiction because you give up your sovereignty.
And so how do you?
Oh, that's what he said. You would give up your sovereignty if the quote white end quote people were financing you. Well, no, not really, because what's the difference between a quote black end quote person financing you? How do you know that you wouldn't give up your sovereignty with them? How do you know a quote white end quote person won't have the same support as a quote black end quote person? How do you know that? That's very polarizing, and this is the reason why you are struggling right now. So, y'all want to say struggle streamers, but Umar, you're struggling. You've been struggling for the past, I don't know how many decades, because you will do business with a quote white end quote person, but you want to take handouts, which means that you take money in return for nothing with quote black end quote people. Y'all, I'm done. We're going to end it there. And again, if you like and enjoy this content, please go ahead. Hold on. I need an assistant. Be patient. Please go ahead and like and subscribe to this channel. I appreciate you so much. And for my 230, y'all, it's only 500 people to a threshold, like to be able to on the road to get you qualified to be monetized. I thought it was 1,000. Y'all, I'm almost halfway there. Can we get there, y'all? Can we get there? Can we get to 250? Yo, let's go. All right, y'all. Until next time, this is a mental chiropractor. My name is Tezra. I'm here to help you realign your mind and take back your power. Until next time, y'all, stay empowered.